Week number 4 of the 2024-25 NBA season is over, which means it's time to run it back. This is Run It Back, NBA Week in Review. I'm Jose Salviati, editor at thebeachbasket.net, and this is the show where we recap the week that was in the NBA, and it was a good one, and then highlight the marquee matchup for the week to come. We start with the only objective overall top 10 NBA power rankings anywhere. You can read more about how we get to these rankings and see the entire list at thebeachbasket.net. Let's take a look at the top 10 at the conclusion of week number 4. The team coming in at number 10 did not have a great week. They finished 1-2, but a win against a very good Knicks team gave them just enough points for the Indiana Pacers to crack the top 10. The team at number 9 was one of 5 that went undefeated in the top 10 in week number 4. The Orlando Magic had wins against the Wizards, Hornets, Pacers, and 76ers to claim the number 9 spot. Now, arguably the best player in the NBA wears a Denver Nuggets jersey. His team only played twice in week number 4, going 1-1, but that was enough to land the number 8 spot this week. The defending NBA champion Boston Celtics were 3-1 in week number 4. No doubt a great week, but other teams did better. The Celtics come in at number 7, dropping 2 spots in week number 4. The Houston Rockets were a perfect 4-0 in week number 4, with wins against the Pistons, Wizards, and the Clippers twice. That was enough to catapult them from out of the top 10 last week to the number 6 spot this week. Another team with a perfect week number 4 were the Los Angeles Lakers. They notched wins against the Raptors, the Grizzlies, the Spurs, and the Pelicans, with 2 of those wins on the road. More than enough to bring the Lakers in at number 5 this week. The Phoenix Suns had a rough week. After peaking at number 1 last week, they went 1-3 in week number 4 and dropped to the number 4 spot. Hoping things get healthy quick for the Phoenix Suns. Staying at number 3 in week number 4 are the Oklahoma City Thunder. They dropped 1 game to the Golden State Warriors, but then won the rest, which was enough to keep them at the 3 spot. The team at number 2 was perfect, winning all 3 of their games this week. The Golden State Warriors had a rough week, being pitted against the Thunder, Mavericks, and Grizzlies, but guess what? They won every game and earned the number 2 spot overall. In what is now no surprise to anyone, the absolutely for real Cleveland Cavaliers come in at number 1 after week number 4. They were perfect, again, finishing 3-0 with wins against the Bulls, 76ers on the road, and the Bulls again at home. They go into week number 5, a perfect 14-0. That's the objective top 10 list for week number 4. Again, if you want to see where all 30 teams land this week, please visit thebeachbasket.net. You'll also find an overview of how we get to these rankings and why they're objective. But now let's shift our focus to the players. These are the best to do it by average in week number 4 of the 2024-25 NBA season. These are the best by average in shooting, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, points, and game score. The top scorer in week number 4 was Victor Wembenyama, with an average of 37.3 points over his 3 games played. Special shout out here to De'Aaron Fox of Sacramento, who dropped 60 in one game and then 49 in the very next game. He obviously had 2 phenomenal games, but his overall average for the week was just under Wemby's. The leader in 3-point shots made was Donovan Mitchell of the perfect Cleveland Cavaliers. He averaged 6.3 3-point shots made in week number 4. The NBA player who averaged the most total field goals made in week number 4 was Giannis Antetokounmpo. He played 4 games and averaged 14.8 made field goals. The player who averaged the most rebounds in week number 4 was Nikola Jokic. Now, he only played in 1 game, but it still counts. That's how averages work. His 18 rebounds led the association. Jokic also pulled down 8 offensive rebounds in 1 game, which led everyone, while Jalen Johnson averaged the most defensive rebounds at 10.5. Incredibly, the Joker, a center, had 15 assists in that game that he played, which was enough to lead everyone in week number 4. The top rim protector plays for the New York Knicks. in what has to be a welcome sight for the team hurting at that position, Ariel Haporti had 4 blocks in one game. It's the only one he played, but again, that was enough to lead everyone this week. The top thief, again, is Dyson Daniels. He is absolutely dominating this category in the 2024-25 NBA season. In week number 4, he played 2 games and averaged 6 steals. Yeah, that's 6 steals in both games, back-to-back. He's a disruptor. The top game scorer is, again, no surprise, Nikola Jokic. He only played in 1 game, as we've said, but that was enough for an incredible game score of 44.8 to lead everyone. Now, as we look ahead to week number 5, all eyes will be on the Boston Celtics as the defending champions take on the undefeated Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs have 1 more game before they travel to Boston, so they will either take on the Celtics at 14-1 or 15-0. Either way, do the Celtics remind the Cavaliers that they can't beat them, or do the Cavaliers punch the Celtics on their home court? It's going to be a great game. Make sure to remind yourself to watch it. Now, finally, we're going to end with a look ahead by asking the Quicket AI chatbot what it sees as the key question or concern as we move into week number 5. This week, it asked this question: will the Raptors break their losing streak? Now, AI's certainly come a long way. That's a great question. Possibly lost in the shuffle of the Cleveland Cavaliers' great start in the East is the struggles of the Toronto Raptors. This is a team that won it all not too long ago, and obviously it's a different team now, but they've been hurting. They had a rough year last year and a pretty rough start this year. After a heartbreaking overtime loss to the Boston Celtics, they've now lost 7 in a row. They're at home for both of their games in week number 5 against the Pacers and Timberwolves. Now, neither one of those teams are pushovers, right? They're both really good, but I don't see the Raptors losing both. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and predict a 1-1 week for the Raptors and an end to the losing streak in week number 5. That's it. Week number 4 of the 2024-25 NBA season is in the books. Join us again next week after week number 5, where we once again run it back.